Hi, folks. This is Mountain Man coming to you from parts unknown. I hope everybody had a Merry Christmas, and I hope everybody's going to have a Happy New Year. I don't know if anybody's wondering about my title there. Quote, back to the wars. What am I talking about? I'm talking about something that was posted in 2013 that I found very interesting. And a Christmas SWAT. Who would pull a phony SWAT raid on somebody on Christmas Eve? Who would do that sort of thing, especially to somebody's elderly parents? Well, I'll get into that too. And cell phones tracked. What's that? What's that all about? Well, that's got a little something to do with you, Crizzle, about cell phones, but it applies to everybody. And I'll tell you why I think it applies to everybody all over the world. All over the world. When you think about it, I mean, is it something that everybody gets it? And could that be the mark? I don't know. Can't buy or sell unless you have one. I mean, does it have to be, I don't know. But anyway, they're pulling some stunts with that over in Crizzle, and they're getting desperate for people to send off into battle. So I'll get into that in a bit. Let me say hi to whoever's coming in here. Hi, Lucy. How you doing? Joan, how you doing? Sherry, Leisha, Diane, Doc. Hi, Alan. Hi, Lori. Nikki, how you doing? Alan. Hey, when you coming in, you're going to like the video, so go ahead and hit the like button. So you don't forget, I do that sometimes. I'll say, man, I got to pull that video back up. I forgot to like it. Hi, Miss Minder Sue. Diane, how you doing? How many Dianes we got? Let me see. So we get, okay, all right, I said twice. Okay, sometimes I get people with the same first names. Debbie, how you doing? Damon, Gloria, nice to see you all. Well, we got Miss Minder Sue and Finding Dory. How you doing, Dory? And hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and share. Yeah. And that helps me beat the rhythm. I had some people message me. I got to give my hearts out and stuff. I've been reading my messages, comments after the broadcast, and a couple of people put in there that they couldn't replay my live chat. I don't know if it was the platform I was using, or is that something else they've taken away from me? Huh. So anyway, yeah, they took away a bunch of stuff from me. But hi, Karen, how you doing? Mary, I'll tell you something else. Hi, Tasha, how you doing? Tasha, I hope I said that right. So, what was I going to tell you? They took a bunch of stuff away from me. Oh, I'll let you all know. I got February 10th marked down on my calendar. Okay, that's a secret date. Not for anything, for any other reason, but I will have one of my STRI, and what's the last two letters? KE will be gone after February 10th. If I mind my P's and Q's, I'll be just down to a warning. And I should be able to take a class, a propaganda class. Hi, Melinda. And supposed to get rid of that warning. I've seen everybody else got a chance to do that. Viva Frey did it. I think Nikki, you did it, didn't you? Took a, pretend like you're brainwashed and answer the questions the way you want them to answer them. Don't misgender anybody, and they take your warning off. So, all All right, that's what I'm looking at. January 10th. Ha ha ha. So I'll get there. I'll get there. But anyway, let me see if what's going on. Well, I will go ahead and explain this swatting thing. Jack Posobiec, he put up where his parents got swatted on Christmas Eve. You know, some lunatic lefty fringe bunch calls in, says something drastic and terrible is happening at an address. You know, they play it off like it is an ongoing crisis situation, dangerous, with you know, weapons involved. That I got to be careful even what I say there. Not everybody has to be, just people like me, okay, that lay it out there plump and plain, like I did that one video they took down. But I'm going to keep doing it plump and plain. Hi, David. How you doing? MS Motorsports, how are you? Tennessee, how you doing? Araceli, nice to see you. Mary's, we got 2 Marys, don't we? Let me see. Yeah, no, not yet. We might. Anyway, so anyway, they build this thing up, and instead of doing Posobiec directly, because I'm sure I don't know what the history is, but I think they tried swatting him. And as many of you all know, but some of you may not, Posobiec has had dinner with Trump on multiple occasions, with Trump and Melania. And so I'm sure he's got a little flag on the computer, even with local law enforcement. And believe me, that happens. Local law enforcement will have a little code next to somebody's name, and that code will match up with a certain type of treatment you give that person. And so I'm sure he has that type of code. So what do? They target his parents. Hi, Garrett. How you doing? So there has to be, Posobiec mentions that, you know, the laws are not very, very good as far as protecting people. I don't get it. I don't get it. As I've said before, you can gauge the corruption in society by the redundancy of his laws. Whenever you put people in danger, all right, making false police reports, or whatever way you put them in danger, purposefully, maliciously do it. That is a crime. You don't need new laws, okay? I mean, what are people, 3rd graders, where you can't sit in front of a jury and say, hey, this person placed these people in danger. These people wasted police resources. These people made a false police report. How many charges can you get out of that act that already exists? No, don't need new rules. You need people enforcing the existing laws. They make things so complicated. You know, the more complicated they make these little laws, and the more laws they make, the more ways out there are for people to get out of it. Hi, Cheryl. How you doing? Did everybody get what they wanted for Christmas? I hope so. Ian, how you doing? Rubber Toe. Sissy, how you? So I got a picture of Sadie. She played real hard Christmas Day, and she conked out, fell asleep. I took a picture of her, and I've got, you know, I got to make sure when I do everything, I've got to take notes. I got to organize my stories in a certain way, all this kind of stuff. I got headphones. I make sure I can hear everything I'm listening to. But I got to put all that stuff away in a safe place, because for some reason she gets in epic battles with things like your headphone wires, and your battery charger wire, I don't witness the battles, but I do find the pieces and parts of my stuff. So anyway, I got to be careful of that. Make sure I put it away. If she wakes up in a frisky mood and my headphones are dangling off the dining room table, she gets into a battle with them. Hi, Donna, how are you doing? Lori got an automated chicken coop door. Well, that sounds like a good idea. Was a little bell ring and they go in there and there's food waiting for them. So they, like Pavlov's dog, they hear that bell, they know to come. Hi, Angel, how you doing? Yeah, get those chickens. But Posobic's been doing a story on the French Revolution, and he's a series on the French Revolution. And I heard our friend, for many of you that have been with me for a while, Oakman in Brazil, okay? He wished me a Merry Christmas, and he is doing well. Where'd my chats go? There they are. Oh. So anyway, he was also referencing the French Revolution. You know how it MTG was swatted again. She's been swatted a couple of times. I don't know if she got a Christmas swat, but I know Jack Posobic's parents did. Hi, Bill. Opens at dawn and closes at dark. Got to make sure they get in there, though. Some fox don't get them. But anyway, he's talking about the French Revolution and drawing parallels as how it started out as some reason, all this kind of stuff, and it just degenerated into the horrors and the terror of what happened. And he kind of codifies it down to anybody who is successful or good looking, they start dragging to the guillotine. Anybody who is successful or good looking. So, but he does point out, and I haven't talked about this in the past. I didn't think it was something to really dwell on with Christmas coming, but now, when the terror ended, when they stopped taking everybody to the guillotine after a 10-minute trial that you were already guilty of before you even got there, ended when they took a group of nuns who refused to support the revolution and denounce their faith in order to praise this new faith of reason, okay, and science, okay, and they took a large number of nuns en masse publicly to the guillotine, and that was when the outrage. They converted the Notre Dame Cathedral to a church of reason, okay, and then you look at here what they did to Notre Dame. While Trump was president, they burned it down. And most of us who watch this video, and the few who don't, very reliable reports that Mike Shell Obama was actually drinking a glass of wine in a boat watching Notre Dame burn. So we're dealing with some pretty vicious, conniving people that are against the church. And that's pretty much what the, quote, revolutionaries were in France. So while he's putting that thing together and broadcasting, somebody pulls this stunt of swatting his parents. Christmas night, Christmas night. I thought it was Christmas Eve. I'm reading it. No, it wasn't Christmas Eve. It was Christmas night. So yeah. And he wrote, it is clear federal law is currently inadequate on swatting incidents, whether to schools, public figures, or members of Congress. Such a law must be updated. In addition, Congress must address the total failure of federal law enforcement agencies to deal with these violent threats. Well, I respectfully disagree. There's plenty of crimes being committed that's no different than a BOMB, okay, threat. Somebody phones in a bomb threat. It's no different than phoning in a phony criminal actions or dangerous actions happening in someone's abode. All right. And that's the way they shouldn't have to change one daggone thing. These people should be going down the road for 10 years. So anyway, I know he's upset, but it's not that hard to figure out. Christmas Day, there it is, yeah. So anyway, but the other thing that I put in was a tweet from 10 years ago. 10 years ago today, the day after Christmas, somebody put out a tweet that says, okay, Christmas is over. Now we can all go back to the wars of life. Focus, focus, focus. Never accept defeat. Push hard for total victory. Does that sound familiar? Focus, focus. Huh. Sounds like one of the last few drops we got from that very famous letter, right? Didn't say it 3 times, just 2 times. Focus, focus. And it said ascension. All right. But this tweet was for 2013. For anybody that doubts that this has been going on way longer than when Trump came down the escalator. Okay. Because this was a 10-year-old tweet from the man himself, DJT. In 2013, the day after Christmas, he said, okay, Christmas is over. Now we can all go back to the wars of life. Never accept defeat. So, why in 2013 you put that out there? We know a lot of stuff that's going on in 2013 that's led up directly to this stuff that people tuning in that's never heard my broadcast, never heard so-called conspiracy theories and all this stuff. We know back then during the Obama administration, we know about the pallets of gold, pallets of cash going to Iran, all that stuff funding, TERROR. We all know about U-1. What's U-1? Uranium, okay? And the other word is one. The deal with the Ruskies via the Clintons and John Podesta and a lot of other people. So we know about rocket technology being handed over to the Chinese government. We know about servers that were illegal in somebody's bathroom, all right? Unregistered servers, we know about all that stuff. That's what Mr. T was talking about back in 2013. And it'll all be coming out. Something happened, a big incident in Haiti. Speaking of past things that were going on that we know about, that most people don't know about, Haiti. They had locked down the U.S. Embassy in Haiti and did a shelter-in-place order because of total lawlessness in the streets. Gunfire erupted. People were back and forth gun battles in the street. They had to lock down the embassy, the U.S. embassy in Haiti. Well, what do we remember from that? We remember DJT in the debates with Hillary Dillery Doo saying, hey, the people of Haiti can't stand you, okay? He was referencing the $5 billion, okay, that was put over there for aid. We also know about the IG report. I put up a picture on my screen from Fox News, and when I do picture shows, I'll show it again. The IG report talking about criminal actions against young people, okay? Clinton Foundation, Haiti, okay? Foreign aid coming up missing. Trump knew about all that stuff even before he ran for president, was involved in it. So he got at least three, what's the regular news call it, bombshells. Just those three. We got way more than that, but things that are going to be exposed and resonate with the American people. The Iran, quote, deal with pallets of cash and pallets of gold in the middle of the night. No notification in Congress, no record of it. We know about Uranium One. You know, we're going to find out who's involved in all that stuff and the China secrets I talked about. And we also know about what they did to Haiti. And we also know the president of Haiti, or a senator in Haiti, and the president of Haiti met an end, okay, just much like JFK. In other words, they were assassinated. Hi, Andrew, how you doing? So it's all part of history. Freedom Rider, how you doing? Didn't the guy on Frosty Snowman say hocus hocus? I hope you're listening to all the things I just talked about, Freedom Rider, because it'll be coming out. I mean, there's so much more, but I just did talk about the highly illegal, okay, Uranium One deal that directly affects our national security and has to do with nuclear weapons, okay, and the abuses in Haiti that were mentioned in Horowitz's Inspector General report, which the investigation of the Inspector General is still ongoing about crimes against young people, if you know what I'm talking about. And $5 billion, okay, that got misappropriated. And all that had strings leading back to the Clinton Foundation. And, you know, those top three things I just talked about, you know. So, Pappy Two Bears, how you doing? Kick a Bird, how you doing? Jersey Joe's in here. SM, how you doing? Andrew must be from down under. Ha ha. I said, doing good, mate. How you doing, Rick? Harper and Trudeau funneling laundered money, yeah, to the Clinton Foundation. Oh, it's going to be a lot of stuff coming out. A lot of stuff. Well, we got the names coming out next week. Or let's see. What do you got? This is 26th. Well, within the next week and a half, let's say. We'll give them 2 weeks. We got the names coming out about the associates of Epstein. How do you say it? Epsteinberg? I don't know. I got to be careful with all these names I say. All of them, the algorithm is like those little creatures in those little tentacle things zipping around the Matrix. In the movie The Matrix, they hear a noise and they all these little tentacled objects. I'm waiting for my wall to crash down and they come in. because I've done taking a red pill. I'm like Nemo out there, ducking the bullets and fighting with all these agents. So, I'll just tell you all how I'm doing. I don't want you all to have to actually be in this matrix. How you doing, Marla? Nice to see you. So anyway, all these things will be coming out, and with the names that are coming out, as I said, there's a distinction, and we're starting to hear that from a number of people of Epstein associates versus clients. Okay. There's a difference between associates and clients, but this is going to whet a lot of people's appetites. It's going to get people's attention. And I'm getting a couple of video clips together I could play for a picture show. One of them is this British commentator. She's saying, it's really going to be an embarrassment for the royal family. But she said that King Charles was asked directly if he was on the list, and the answer was unequivocal no, that you would not see King Charles on the list. But they were talking about further embarrassment of the royal family. I don't know how much more, if it's just Prince Philip. So there may be other big names in there, and it's automatically going to generate discussion about, well, who were the actual clients? All right, let's see this client list. So I think that's the only thing keeping Ghislaine Maxwell down to 20 years. I was telling you all about that channel I watched where people go up for probation and stuff like that. Mandu. So you see all kinds of stuff. People that have done all kinds of things. And they'll be in there for 20 years. And they'll get good time, like 20% knocked off for good behavior right off the bat. But a lot of times you see people with 20-year sentences with parole eligibility after 5 years. What? It all depends on what happened and who knows the details about her actual sentencing. So, they're dangling that out in front of her. I don't know, we know what else are dangling out in front of her. The black cats are dangling out saying, hey, according to popular belief, your boyfriend was dangling by an extension cord or a bed sheet or something like that. Now, we won't get into that, but we know that is a significant risk for anybody turning on the D.S. Yeah, associates, Freedom Rider. See, and welcome back. Appreciate having you back. But they have like 2 pictures, recycled pictures of Trump with Epstein that they show over and over and over again. Now, Clinton went to the island or flew on the jets 27 or 28 times. Now, they do have a record of Trump flying with some of his family members from Florida to Bedminster, New Jersey, when Trump was having his planes, some maintenance done to his planes. And this was sometime, I believe, in the 90s, 20-some years ago. And they flew back to his office in Bedminster. But Trump himself has said, Clinton's, the key is the island. He said in many different discussions called it a cesspool. The island is a cesspool. And he said, I've never been there, but I've heard some horrible things. And remember, hi, Phil, how you doing? Awaken Trillium, how you doing? Wanda, Quilt, nice to see you all. So, but they recycle the Trump pictures over and over again. Like, oh, he was really in with Epstein, but he wasn't. I mean, he took a flight, one billionaire to another. Epstein was famous because he had billions. Now, early on, when his case was reopened, there was discussions about his shady past as far as having a Saudi identity papers that may not even be his real name. Nobody can really trace him back to where he came from or trace back where his money came from. But the fact of the matter was he had billions, he had control of billions, and he was rubbing shoulders with billionaires. You know, I've never rubbed shoulders with billionaires, but I have with multimillionaires. And you just don't go to anybody's Sweet 16 party or Halloween party. I mean, you go to galas and events. You have advanced security teams. I mean, I've dealt with people who were in the hundreds of millions. You know, the identity of their children, where they live, all that stuff is hush hush, and where they go to school, because you don't want somebody snatching your kids up, but you want them to have as normal a life as possible. You'd be amazed. You know, sometimes you'll be talking to somebody who is related to somebody very famous and very moneyed, but you'll not even know it. You never know who you're talking to. And they do it to try to have a normal life and to keep their family members safe and secure. So you end up with these supposedly vetted individuals who are on the same level financially as you, and you got some character like Epstein has been inserted. A lot of people say his money was C.I.A. A lot of people say his money was Mossad. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a little bit of everything. So anyway, they keep recycling those SMs. So I think T-Man helped the government. Yeah. Freedom said, we'll see how everything comes out. Yeah. Well, the thing that was reported one time, and I have shown the video of it, of Trump's labor secretary, all right, Department of Labor, was approved as a cabinet member in his first administration, was a continuating somebody who's been through prior administrations, was an attorney, and he got, when Trump won, he got put in as labor secretary. Turns out that he was working in the Attorney General's office prior to Trump coming into office, and approved the Epstein plea deal that was done like 15 or 20 years before. I don't know how many years before Trump got in office. But Epstein was convicted way before Trump came in office, during the Obama administration, I believe it was. And Trump fired that labor secretary. Well, actually, gave him an opportunity to resign because he approved an illegal plea deal for Jeffrey Epstein. And Epstein had gone to this little Mickey Mouse house arrest deal where he was still flying all over the place wherever he wanted to go and doing his thing. And they all thought it was over with. And Ghislaine Maxwell was free as a bird. Well, Bill Barr and Trump said, hey, that's an illegal plea deal. Unlawful. Threw it in the trash pail. The guy who approved it was told to resign as labor secretary. Trump had a press conference, and I played the press conference. Trump standing right beside the young guy that was being removed as labor secretary who approved an illegal deal. He said at the press conference, I was told that Epstein belonged to the intelligence services. The orders came from the top. That's the only reason I approved it. I shouldn't have. I take full responsibility, and I resign my position as Secretary of Labor. And Trump was right there with him. They rearrested Epstein. They didn't retry him. They instituted a sentence that should have been instituted. So you had either incompetent or crooked judges involved, incompetent or crooked prosecutors involved, and defense attorneys. Believe me, all those names are known. Okay. Well, they rearrested Epstein, and we all know the story on Epstein, right? We got question marks. Everybody walking the face of the earth that knows about this has got question marks about what happened to Epstein. But then it gets better. You have the Southern District of New York. Open case on Ghislaine Maxwell. They were involved in the illegal plea deal with Epstein. Now, they're not taking action on Ghislaine Maxwell. Hi, Lone Wolf. How you doing? So what happens then? I'm just scrolling through to see. Hi, Clay. How you doing? Oh, quiet, behaving yourself. That's good. So that's what Ghislaine was trying to do. She was laying low. And the Southern District of New York, the attorney was saying, no, it's an ongoing investigation. We can't comment on it. Bill Barr and them were going, why don't you charge her, arrest her? Well, we're working on it. Yeah. So I showed the tweets from this attorneys general, Southern District of New York, and the communications by Bill Barr that told him, you need to do something. Well, it doesn't do anything. So Bill Barr sends him a letter saying, congratulations on your new assignment. You're being reassigned from Southern District of New York to whatever. I mean, I don't know, somewhere in Alaska. And they were going to put somebody in Southern District of New York that would do something with Ghislaine Maxwell. Well, this guy puts out this big, long tweet. I just got a letter about me being reassigned to another office. And I just want everybody to know that I have no intentions of leaving the office I currently occupy until I finish all the work that I've been assigned and see that justice is meted out in a fair way, blah, blah, blah. So the next letter he got was, you're fired. Clean your office out now. And he put out tweet, why they can't do this to me. Yes, they did. They could. They did. Within a week, Ghislaine Maxwell was arrested. Her trial's over and done. She's been sentenced to 20 years, and you know she's working with the government. None of this stuff would have happened if Trump had not gotten to the presidency. None of it would have happened. So with the accusations, they're going to recycle more than Clinton, more than Prince Andrew, more than all the other creepos. Watch what I say when this associate list comes out. Who's associated? They're gonna hammer the mainstream media is going to hammer Trump from, I don't know, 2 or 3 pictures from 20, 30 years ago. It doesn't matter because the history is the history. Okay. They exposed and uncovered the illegal plea deal, fired the guy or had the guy that did it because he was cowed. He was cowed by the intelligence agencies to do something unlawful. And he'll say, I was told I was covered, that it was okay. All right. Epstein was rearrested, not retried, properly sentenced. You know what happened to him. Then you had the Southern District of New York willfully delaying a procedure against Ghislaine Maxwell to arrest and charge. All right. The one responsible for stonewalling got fired, had the opportunity to go to a different office, resisted that, and was summarily fired and removed, and Ghislaine Maxwell was arrested a week later. That's in the history books. And none of that stuff would have happened if it wasn't for Donald J. Trump. And if they had not done this, we wouldn't be looking for an associate list coming out in a week and a half. Nobody'd even be talking about it. Jeffrey Epstein would be still flying around doing what he's doing. All right, or was doing. Ghislaine Maxwell, she'd still be giving speeches to the UN. She gave, 20 speeches to the UN? She's got a helicopter license. She's got a submarine certification to operate submarines. She was, I don't know, the Queen Poobah or whatever at the temple on the island. These people are sick. They're demonic, and it's going to come out. I'll get some still photographs where pictures of what was underneath that temple have been captured because they took their cell phones in there. Chelsea Handler, Chandler, Handler, all right? You remember those names. I'm saying they'll be coming out. So I was watching a video where they were going into Trump being like Adolf again because he used the word BLOOD, talking about a nation's BLOOD stream. You know, how many times you heard people say, I bleed red, white, and blue, it's ridiculous to say, oh, that's the same way Hitler talked. What is wrong with these people? But they do a long, drawn-out thing with who? Jim Acosta. Jim Acosta. I got a screenshot of that. I'll be playing that out. But anyway, since I put that out there, the same thing is going to happen with what happened in Haiti and the Clinton Foundation. That is just one thing the Clinton Foundation was involved in. The bottom line is there were multi-million-dollar donations from foreign powers that were going to the Clinton Foundation right up until when she lost the election. The money dried up. Money for influence, kind of like the Biden deal. So things came out about Epstein. Things came out about Ghislaine Maxwell that never would have came out. Things are coming out about the Bidens. Okay, billions of dollars getting kicked around, tens of millions of dollars going into the Biden family bank account. We know that Romney's got a kid that works for a son that works, a grown man that works for energy companies in Ukraine. We know Nancy Pelosi's son gets kickbacks from Ukrainian energy. All that stuff's going to be coming out. Yeah, Freedom Rider. That's was Acosta was his name. I've got the clip still in my video files, and I'll play it the next time. I don't know what his name was, but we know that there's a uniparty, and it's Republicans, Democrats, and everything in between. The label Republican means nothing to me, but there's going to be a lot of all of them on there. We've been told 70% at least, if the laws were applied that need to be applied, that should be applied. People have said 70% of people seated in government would be imprisoned, but I believe it's higher than that. It's both parties. Diane says it'd take 12 weeks for that long list to come out. They said it's 170 names that the judge is ordering released. Redhausen, how you doing? So yeah, he is contrite during his press conference where he's with Trump, and Trump, praises him for, doing a good job as labor secretary. But you got to go. You did something wrong. And yeah, Debbie, things coming out about the rap industry. Gosh. Oh, Hollywood, the rap industry. I mean, people who were nobodies that all of a sudden become big stars overnight. And we know why. We're starting to find out why. They're influencing our culture. So I didn't know I was going to go down that memory lane, but hey, it's a story being told, and we got to remind ourselves so we can not be misled when they say 170 names of Epstein's associates, and they'll keep it on the screen with Rachel Maddow running her jaws of Epstein with Donald Trump when Donald Trump was like 40 years old, he's 76 now, 77. So don't forget also that it's documented that Epstein was at one of Trump's many clubs, and he said something or offered something or anyway, somebody who was a member of the club, their daughter was either propositioned or touched, or something happened that made that parent very, very angry that Epstein did. And Trump booted him out of the club and also cooperated with the criminal investigation, whatever he did to that member's daughter. And I can't say I know exactly what happened, but it was enough to get, I believe it was the FBI. No, it may have been The state police in Florida asked Trump what he knew about it, and Trump said, "I'll let you know everything you want to know right now," and started talking on the phone and said everything he knew about Epstein. And that also led to part of his conviction. So, okay, we're focused on this. Now we're going to go to Jared Kushner. I should discuss how Jared Kushner received $2 billion from the Saudis weeks after leaving office for a private equity fund when he had zero experience with private equity. I have heard that an opinion from somebody I respect said that part of the problems Trump has been experiencing may have come from his own house. And that was a weird way to put it. But you can look at plenty of modern situations where, like I talked about Merrick Garland, I said, hey, you never know. He could be working for the good, okay? Merrick Garland. And people said, well, his son-in-law is involved in all kinds of crazy stuff. I don't want to get, his son-in-law involved in some medical things and kids being operated on and getting drugs and stuff when they're very young to be change their gender and stuff like that. And I said, hey, how many people have problems with their relatives? Okay. That their relatives are doing things. I don't know the details about the money from the Saudis. And I don't know what Jared Kushner's experience is, but I do know that plenty of good people have crumb bums in their family. I'm not saying Kushner's a crumb bum. I'm saying it's undeniable throughout history, very, very good people had crumb bums in their families. I mean, look at Noah. Like I said in the past, the puddles didn't even dry on the ground. What was Ham's sin? Ham, his son. Look at Adam and Eve. Cain was a murderer. Joseph had his coat of many colors. His brothers threw him down a well, sold him into slavery. I mean, so everybody say, well, Joseph, we really respect Joseph. What are you talking about? His brothers threw him down a well and sold him into slavery. Joseph is no good. Well, he had some crumb bums for a brother, and he forgave him. Well, Kushner was tasked with Trump White House Middle East policy. They had the Abraham Accords, and there was peace in the Middle East. Iran was behaving itself. Now it's a conflagration. Yeah, Angel, they have to 124 to have their name redacted. Like I was talking about, one lady who wants her name redacted because she's from a very conservative country and she would never have any peace, or worse, might come after her, I don't know. So, yeah, nobody can say that there was the Abraham Accords were a bad thing at all. Let's see. Just stating the facts, and you're stating facts too. But like I said earlier, we'll see how it all turns out. We will see. But this business of them trying to take Trump off the ballot for something he's never been charged with, something he's never been convicted of, state judges interfering with the federal election. I think we're going to see a lot of judges removed from the bench. A lot of people have judges will, by necessity, be taken off the bench. They're violating the black letter of the law. And you can't have that. And this isn't practicing being a judge. You got to be a judge, especially at that level. And if you're too incompetent or corrupted, you got to go. You got to go. That goes for Engoron, and it goes for these Colorado judges. Even, every one of those Colorado judges are classified as, we're not labeling people by party. Okay, every Republican's bad, every Democrat's bad. No, we're not. But they're in a category of being liberal, all 7 of them. And the dissents from the 3 judges, all of them are incredulous about the ruling about Trump. And they condemn it as unconstitutional. So, that's a good example of saying, well, they're all Democrat judges. Well, that doesn't mean they all think alike. There's a big, big difference. And it's just like the rulings where the dissenting judges on the Supreme Court. Robertson said, hey, when you write your dissents, you don't be so, I get not mean, but the equivalent, legal equivalent of mean, because judges were saying some of these opinions were incomprehensible legally. You read them and they don't, it's just some kind of unicorn rainbow BS that's nowhere in the law. And that's exactly what the opinion of the 3 judges who were, quote, liberal, that don't agree with the Colorado ruling. And hey, we got it in writing, in the books. Here it is. Bottom line, these judges don't know what they're doing or are purposefully subverting the law. That's right, Melinda. Good people on both sides, if they just open their eyes and stand up for and say something. Well, so many of them, we're finding out they either get like that video I played where that one representative said, here's how it works. They get somebody to go in a hotel room, get videotaped. They don't, through a pinhole camera or, some hidden camera somewhere, and doing something, they really, really shouldn't be doing. And when they get ready to vote, they get a tap on the shoulder, and a well-dressed person says, hey, did you know about that night? Remember that night you were at the Ramada Inn or Marriott or whatever it was, and that little blonde kid you had? Remember that? And then right then and there, they almost lose their bowels. Then anyway, that bill you're going to vote against, maybe you better think about voting for it. That's the way it works. We've been told that by people in the know. They're either compromised that way, or they, in the past, have come in against it and they get ganged up on. You have this orchestrated media attacks, and they get shoved out the door. Look what they did with what's his name, the guy from New York. I mean, he's a little chubby guy that, he fibbed on his campaign donations. What was his name? I don't know what his name is. He's a guy out of New York, and he he did what they all do in Congress, right? Well, what's his name? And they didn't even give him a hearing. You had Adam Schiff got censored by Congress. He was surveilling media people. He was getting phone records of fellow congressmen. He was making false accusations that are provenly false against the president of the United States. He was doing all this stuff. He gets censored, and now he's running for Senate. All right. Then you had the last guy that got censored, pulled the fire alarm. I mean, threw the signs down on the ground, pulled the fire alarm, tried to interfere with the vote. He got censored. Then this guy out of New York pulls whatever little stupid stunt he pulled, which, I never heard the evidence. I don't know. They never had any hearings. And they kicked him out. They stripped him of his seat. They didn't censure him. Let's see. Shouldn't a Kushner deal be investigated? Well, I can tell you this: if they're investigating Trump's phone calls, the president of the United States, they're investigating when Donald Jr. put $250 into a Chinese bank account 15 years ago. Because in order to engage in business discussions, correspondence, if you try to conduct any business in the Republic of China, you have to have an active bank account. So I think him and Eric it might have been him and Ivanka, I don't know. They were looking at putting a building up somewhere. I don't know if it was Beijing or Shanghai or wherever they were. And, they could find out what's your property rights, what kind of traffic is there, what's the population of the city, what's the potential income, we're going to build this building or get involved in this project, shopping center or whatever, got to open a bank account. So he took $250 and opened a bank account. And all we heard for half a year was about this Chinese bank account. So what I'm trying to say, in other words, if there was anything there, they're so desperate to smear crap on Trump and Ivanka, because he's married to Ivanka, right? If there's anything there at all, we'd be hearing about it. I don't necessarily trust Jared either, Debbie. I don't trust Jared, but what I'm saying is they go after the grab any straw to go after Trump. So if this is such a big, huge scandal, Trump said, hey, Zelensky, you got to check out this corruption over there. Okay. You understand what I'm saying? About that $1 billion Joe was talking about withholding. All right. That prosecutor got fired. That's crooked. That's corrupt. We want something done, but we want to find out what's going on. They went ape, you know what. Okay. They went bat, you know what. SH, and that's it. Okay. They went bat. BATSH, and that's it over that. When Biden himself said, unless that prosecutor's fired, you're not getting the money. 900 million, almost $1 billion. How did they flip that around to make it look like Trump needed to be impeached over it? I just don't get it. I don't get it. Oh, Ivanka's a good-looking woman, Freedom. She's good looking, but I think he is creepy looking to me. That's just my. I don't. I mean, what am I going to say about how another man looks? But I don't find him. Should I say attractive when I talk about Jared Kushner? He's got his hair slicked down, greased down, and he just looks. I don't know. Gives me the creeps a little bit, but hey, who knows? Santos, yeah, that's right, Tennessee. Mr. T's Diane, Mr. T is on the ballot. They stayed their own order because they knew it was going to get stayed. They know it's an unlawful order. They stayed their own order. It's not even in effect. That's right, Nikki. He's back on the ballots. Yeah, Miss Sue. They took down my links to buy me a coffee. You got to just go to buymeacoffee.com and punch in Mountain Man. I appreciate everybody that's helped me gotten through and that's another thing, Freedom, the way they punish my channel. They don't allow me to put my links up, but Gary, DM, okay, Pappy Two Bears, Christopher, Lone Wolf, and Aaron, I believe Hilarious might even broke through that blockade they put up on me and buy me a coffee. They don't let me put that link in, so I have to put in directions to go to buy me a coffee and type in Mountain Man. Jerry Lee, you're right. Menendez, his gold bars. They don't. Well, that's the thing. His own party kicked him out. They all kicked him out. I think that's the only bipartisan thing they've done is kicked out Santos. And he said they don't want to kick me out because they're opening themselves up to the same thing. And he dared them. He said, kick me out. I dare you. You're opening yourselves up to your own corruption. But they did it anyway. So he had Democrats and Republicans kick him out, Santos, because there's so many of them there that are dirty. And if Jerry did anything wrong, he should be investigated. Yeah. But, they have total control over the Department of Justice. They have total control over the intelligence communities. And like I've said, they've gone after Trump on the skimpiest crap. And so, okay, here's this big piece of fruit hanging down. Jared Kushner's crooked. And I'm not saying he is. I'm saying if everybody's saying it's such a juicy, illegal thing, and they have the control over the intelligence agencies, the media, and the Justice Department, why aren't they doing anything about it? Yeah, he's an odd fellow, Jersey. Watch it, Ian. No, Donna, Jared Kushner's married to Ivanka. not Melania. Uh, Jared Kushner is Trump's son-in-law. Yeah, a bunch of facelifts, I'm sure. Oh, Nikki put a link in for Buy Me a Coffee. It works if Nikki could put it in until they get me on that too. Trump never said he wanted to sleep with his daughter. You know, what are you going to say next? Trump's got small hands. I mean, it is so weak. And this isn't to you specifically or anybody specifically, but I really think people that maintain this absolute disdain for Trump, and I can't say the word HAT and then E, okay? But that's what it is. Some of them have just inadequacy and they're jealous. I mean, he's an American icon. I mean, he's been a TV star. He's made billions. He's lost billions. He bounced back. I've got the Newsweek magazine when they had Trump on the cover. I think it was the 1980s. Trump, the fall, FALL, the fall, where he's got his head in his hands, and they were all, but he's a testimony to discipline, working hard, high standards. You look at any of his buildings, any of his properties, he wants things to be a world-class A1. And what is wrong with that? Why does that bother people? Oh, Mr. Mendersue said that link didn't work. That Nikki's link didn't work. And what else did they used to say about Trump? Oh, that he said all those people in Charlottesville, all those who ate supremacists, okay? I can't even say that word. But all those KK and add another K. People were good people. Didn't you hear Trump say that? And he never said that. Are we going to start digging up those old lion bones? Trump said to inject bleach into your veins. That's what Trump said, inject bleach. Are you on that kick too? With his small hands. He's 6'3". I bet he could squeeze the average person's hands and put them to their knees. But they say it over and over and over again. What else they used to toss out about Mr. T that was all BS? Russia, Russia, Russia. Hi, single songwriter. How are you doing? Oh, yeah. All right, Garrett. Yeah, he said if he wasn't married to his wife and his daughter wasn't his daughter, he would date her. Yeah. What father doesn't think his daughter's beautiful, a princess, But they say, oh, that means Trump wanted to have S3X with his daughter. Grow the hell up. That's right, Diane. Mr. T's a good man, loves his country. He doesn't have to go through this crap. It's like I was saying, we don't deserve not just Trump, but all the people that are unearthing this garbage that I just spent an hour going over just with Maxwell and Epstein. But there's tons of stuff beyond that. But it's like, gosh, we got to attack Trump. We got to tear him down. No, never mind the fact that they're doing rituals on that island. Never mind they had tunnels under there where they're abusing people that aren't old enough to know what's their favorite color, and that's a fact. But no, we got to go after Trump. We are so past this crap, Nikki, but there's millions of them that, you know what's really sick, Nikki? What's really sick is when we sit here and ring the bell about what we're ringing, what happened to the children in Haiti, okay? What's happening to kids all around this world? What's happening to all the ones who are getting trafficked over the border, disappearing into S3X slavery, okay? And that all the stuff is being exposed just to get Trump. They'll let it keep going. They'll let all those horrors keep going because they don't like Trump. That's what's disgusting. The bottom line is it's not a question anymore, and it's not a secret anymore, and it's not a conspiracy, okay? That there's organized abuse going on. That there's a rise in the cult of Satan. We've seen it at the Colorado airport. We're seeing it in the state houses. We see it in the Navy, the Church of Satan in the Navy. We see the Church of Satan suing to remove Roe v. Wade restrictions because they say it. They want to talk about the word BLOO and then D, that word, and attach it to Adolf. Well, that's exactly the word they use when they sue, because they need that BLOO, and the last letter is D, for their rituals. That's why they don't like the decision to put Roe v. Wade back to the states. But none of that matters. Orange man bad. I mean, it comes to a point where, you know, people just, I wrote down, but I didn't put in my title. I thought, well, people aren't going to understand what I'm saying. I put Christmas SWAT raid, cell phones tracked back to the wars. But beside that, I also had, you must choose, okay? You must choose. Are we going to have, like Trump said, madness and doom? I was going to put that in. I just knocked all my stuff off them. Madness and doom. Are we going to have a civilization? Are we going to have, will you send your kid off to school? Are you going to have some creep when they're 6, 7, 8 years old come up and say, did you ever think that you might not be a little boy? What the hell's people thinking about? But anyway, I had cell phone tracking going on, and the reason for that, real quick, I go to it more in my next broadcast, but very quick, they're talking about international cooperation, okay, to bring back, quote, air quotes, refugees from Ukraine that are of draft age, and they have changed the draft age from 18 to over 50. Some reports are saying up to 60 years old. But people who left the country, they're going to track their cell phones, send them subpoenas, okay, and warrants via cell phone. And people are saying, well, I got a new cell phone when I got to this country. Well, remember this. People got Facebook, people got Instagram, people got all kinds of stuff, and they want to put it in their new phone they have to use their Google account. So they can take their Ucrizzle phone and throw it in the ocean and get a new one. It doesn't matter. As long as they have their GOOGL account, they can send a warrant to your phone, and they're talking about it being a lawful warrant, and that the EU is going to cooperate, not allow people who have received warrants to return to Ucrizzle to get drafted, okay, and go to the front. They're going to assist by revoking their visas, passports, any benefits they may be getting, give information out about their addresses. They're not going to physically force people to leave, but the way I'm reading it, they're not going to interfere if Ucrizzle wants to come get them. So these oh God, let me see. This is good conversation. Same people who are HAT and on Trump in the media and writing books about him, trying to defame him, are the same ones told Trump to run for office. Yeah, there's all kinds of sneaky stuff going on. How you doing, Greg? Mr. Kibler. I've never heard of Miles Taylor. Miles Taylor is a wackadoodle. I don't even know who that is. I've seen the books. That books are the biggest money laundering thing. They will Penguin Books. You're going to see that come. Some executives there getting arrested. They will have people write books, pay them a $5 million advance. They'll take books, and I've seen the books in warehouses, tens of thousands, more than that. I've seen a warehouse with 14-foot ceilings, okay? Stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks of boxes. You rip the box open, there's stacks and stacks of books inside that those boxes that just sit there for a year, and then they go to the landfill. But they get reported as sold, and the person gets paid money for books that never sold. And bottom line, most of it is communist, Marxist crap or mainstream media liberal crap. And that's how they pay people off, just like we heard about the TikTok influencers who were getting paid. And we saw the guy showed an email, a YouTuber, where he would have got so much money for a video bashing Trump. That's right. It's going to get crazy out there. Payment for treason. It's the season for treason. Just looking through the quotes here. Yeah, that's the bottom line to remember. And it's got to be said more often. It's like I said, it's not a secret anymore. A lot of people just don't know about it, but they'll be finding out at an accelerated pace about downright satanic stuff being done. All right. And young people being involved involuntarily. And it's going to come to an end. And which side do people want to be on? With the childish parroting of repeating libel, repeating things that are taken out of context, just to I guess it's cool to be against Trump. It ain't cool anymore. No notification, Sandy. They're doing everything they can. Doing everything they can. John Kelly. That's the name we're going to keep an eye on. John Kelly. Was he, what was his position? What was John Kelly's position? Because there's going to be people that are going to be in big trouble that were in the administration. I got to add SM's name in this. I don't have enough room. I got to take a couple out. This is everybody that's helped out in the past with Buy Me a Coffee. Nikki put a link in the description, but didn't work for a couple people that tried it. But go to Buy Me a Coffee and enter Mountain Man, and you can help support the channel that way. I appreciate everybody that's helped me out there. And this is everybody that's gotten past the Mountain Man boycott. Gary, DM, Pappy, Christopher, Lone Wolf, and Aaron. And I think Hilarious. I don't know if Hilarious got around a blockade or not, but helped me out last week. Chief of Staff. I think John Kelly was Mark Meadows was chief of staff when Trump went out of office. There was a lot of backstabbers when Trump first took off. You got to understand, he was never in politics, okay? He had to rely on the structure and the people who were career staffers. They have that. Career staffers and career White House people. All right, Miss Mendersu, I'll have to put you in the list too, Miss Mendersu. I appreciate it. Thank you for what you do and to wake the people up. It's greatly appreciated. Merry Christmas. Thank you, Miss Mendersu, so much. I can read your comments live on screen. Don't put anything, just hi, and don't put anything political in there, because they'll start having fits. Or you don't have any blue hairs are in woodwork there. But I think Kelly was in the military, wasn't he? And there are some people playing a role. There are some people that were purposefully trying to sabotage Trump's presidency, and we're going to see them all. This can never happen again. Okay, that's the bottom line. Not just the steal. It can never happen again. Not just the undermining of a sitting president, 2 impeachments that were all based on libel and lies. That can't happen again either. But what they're doing to our young people in the school system can never happen again. But a lot of people got to go to jail over that. Sitting there chemically doing things or surgically doing things to young people has to be punished. You cannot do, just like you had parents saying, well, I'm not going to give my child this life-saving medicine because I'm going to pray, and the kid passes away. That parent goes to jail. Same thing. So anyway, I've gone an hour and a half. I do appreciate you all spending your precious time with me. I've got more stuff, but I would much rather go on to these lively discussions so we can air things out. And counterpoints are very good. But, my my patience with people who are against what Trump's trying to do just for the sake of being against Trump. He's the only one who's brought this stuff out. He's the only one. He's the only one that has the political clout to address it. He's the only one that's going to have the gravitas, okay, and the right to get retribution for society over these horrific wrongs. The most precious thing we have is our votes. The most precious thing we have as Americans is our vote. And anybody that thinks Biden got 81 million votes is not seriously looking at the situation. Because there were, 10, 15 million more than there were registered voters. So we had 115% turnout. Little things like that. So when people want to go, nah, we got Trump. Oh, the walls are closing in. We're going to get him now. And they don't give a flying damn about our most precious thing being taken from us. They don't give a flying damn about these kids who are getting put in operating rooms when they're 10, 11 years old. They don't give a flying damn about goats and candles and Baphomet statues. He's the only one who will protect the rich while using the working class as a shield. Is delusional. Let me tell you, Freedom Rider, this is the only country on the face of the earth that still has freedom to run a business, okay? But at the same time, close to 50% of this country is on the government teat, okay? I've talked to people who run businesses, big name businesses. I ain't going to get into who they are, but anything from food to oil, okay? Manufacturing. But I'll give you, from the horse's mouth, I'll tell you this. Most oil companies and big name companies dealing food, they make 4 cents of profit on every dollar they get. 4 cents. Talking oil, chickens, corn, soy. It's all unionized. It's all Marxist. All the corporations that everybody bitches about make 4 cents on every dollar that come in as profit. And they still have to take care of the people who buy the stock and invest in the corporation so the company has enough money to function. And then on top of that, unemployment insurance, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, all this stuff coming out of paychecks, and have to hear this crap about the rich are taking advantage of the poor. This is the most candy-ass country you can find for people on the government dole. I'm not losing the plot. Yeah, I'm answering your question. The plot is, what you think a president, your own words. He's the only one who will protect the rich. Hey, I live in America, buddy. I want everybody to be rich, okay? Not worry. Let's suppress the rich. I want everybody to have a home. I want everybody to have a car. I want everybody to have 2 or 3 cars, and not battery powered crap either. The stock market is fantastic under Biden. Yeah, I'll tell you who does real good in the stock market, never lost a dime. Probably, one of the very few people on the face of this earth that every time they buy a stock, they make money. That's Nancy Pelosi's husband. That tells you everything you need to know. So anyway, I've gone way over an hour and a half. I know you all are tired, and I hope we have some more lively conversations in the future. And yeah, the stock market's smoke and mirrors. What was it Mark Twain said? I suggest you don't get involved in stocks on Mondays and Tuesdays. No, Mondays and Fridays, and every day in between. I'm wrong with my numbers. You're telling me there's not nearly 50% of this country in one way or another is on a government dole, waiting for the eagle to SH, and that's it over top of the mailbox. Everyone with 401k makes out great. Well, I'll tell you what, when I was coming up, painting houses, digging ditches, slinging hamburgers, whatever I had to do. 401k, what are you talking about? I need gas. So anyway, yeah, 401s are a sensitive subject. I don't know about them, but I've had a lot of people, grown men, grown women crying over their. Well, not for long. It's getting ready to crumble. I'll show you some graphs of what a dollar right now is. Candy wrappers, like Putin said, it's candy wrappers. They're printing so much of it. It's the value of it's going. Already told you, $1,000 bill got taken out of circulation in 1969. They don't circulate them anymore. They don't take it as legal tender. But if my dear sweet grandmother put $1,000 bill away from me underneath the mattress and said, you can have it in the year 2023, I'd pull that $1,000 bill out from underneath the mattress, and it would be $100 bill. 90% of the value. That's what the print press does. So anyway, folks, you all have spent a lot of time with me tonight. I appreciate it. And we'll be getting back together again soon. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe and hit the like button to help the video get around, or hit the thumbs down if you don't like it. And I want to thank Miss Mindersu for helping sponsor tonight's show. I appreciate it. No, Miss Mindersu, we're not going to kick him out. I mean, it's actually kind of funny to read, you know. I mean, Biden has been exposed for so many criminal things, and anyway, so we'll keep talking, we'll keep rolling, and there's an old saying: if 2 people are having a conversation and they both agree on everything, one of the two people is an idiot. I'm just saying. That's a very old saying. If there's two people having a conversation and they agree on everything, nobody disagrees about anything, one of the two is an idiot. So, not saying anybody in here is an idiot. We just have different views. So, you all have a great night. I'll be seeing you soon. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thank you, Miss Minder Sue, very much. And I'm reading what you're saying. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna quote what Rodney King. Can't we all just get along? Anyway, I'm just kidding, folks. I'll be seeing you soon, guys. Thank you for spending your precious time with me, and I'll be getting back with you soon. Take care. Have a great evening. This is Mountain Man, over and out.